Here, the greatest wealth transfer in history. What is your plan? Are you going to allow your family to sleepwalk through this historic opportunity to change its financial position for generations? In this video, I'll walk you through how I turned my life around, starting with educating myself on how money works and how I finally built my emergency fund with fervor. If saving for a 6-month emergency plan has been a challenge for you, come along and see if what worked for me could possibly work for you. In 2022, I began hearing about and researching the Great Wealth Transfer, which refers to an intergenerational wealth transfer that is underway in the United States, among other nations, with the baby boomer generation leaving significant wealth to their heirs. Baby boomers and the silent generation will bequeath a total of $84.4 trillion in assets through to 2045, with $72.6 trillion going directly to heirs. Great. I have received inheritances before, and although I put most of it to good use, I didn't change my financial mindset. I would rather spend money to get the endorphin rush than invest it. But then comes the guilt. More money wasted. I used to say, I can make more money. But now, I find myself counting down the years to retirement and realizing I don't have that many years of earning money through working. The panic of realizing how many years and then doing the calculation of the amount of money I was going to make over that period of time. And wow, what a shock. From that moment forward, I dedicated every spare minute I had to learning about investments and money. I learned what assets are, what currencies are, and how they are directly tied to inflation and overspending of the government. I learned that our national debt can never be paid off at its current rate, and I learned that all currencies have failed, 100% of them. So, I decided to start looking into investing in gold, which also led me to silver. That's it. I found my passion. All I had to do was hold an ounce of each, and from that moment on, it was on. I finally have found something good to unleash my addictive personality on. Now that I found my passion for acquiring physical assets, God's money, I needed to get my financial life in order so I can take advantage of my newfound knowledge. First business at hand, the dreaded emergency fund, which is a lot of cash just sitting around losing value every single day. The paltry savings account interest rate won't even keep up with inflation. But not if the emergency fund was not in fiat. If it were in God's money, it would keep up with inflation. Always has. Inflation is about currencies. Buying bullion, gold, and silver also puts a step between me and receiving the cash to go and spend. Now, I would have to give up this shiny, dense, beautiful coin. And who would want to do that for measly cash? What an awesome idea. I get to fulfill my need for purchasing something shiny and pretty, my precious, if you will. Not just saving money, but putting away money for an emergency fund. The thing that everybody talks about is a must to finally living debt-free and having financial independence. And that passion involves purchasing assets. It's pretty easy, but you have to get yourself in a good situation. So I had to face the music. I started reviewing my finance accounts weekly and checking account daily. It's much less scary and less likely to keep you down when you're on top of it. Stop the debt game. I had to stop credit card craziness. I filed for a debt reduction program and started it. Budget. I came up with a budget formula. My old budget really wasn't working well because I got paid every 2 weeks, and my original budget was based on twice a month, and it just wasn't working out. It really screwed me up, to be honest. So I came up with a new budget formula. Basically, every 2 weeks when I get paid, half of the monthly bills are pulled out of that check. And that made variable monthly bills more sustainable, like gas and electric, etc. Changed my mortgage payment to every 2 weeks instead of monthly. The good thing is it spreads the payments, all outbound money. It spreads it out very evenly across your income stream, your main income stream. I also stopped browsing on Amazon and stopped it's only $10. It's only $5. It's only $32. I stopped all that. Then I also removed the temptation to spend on frivolous stuff and later on overspending on bullion products by doing some research into different custodians of cash or banks. So after a ChatGPT search, I came across a fintech called SoFi, which offered a 4.9% high-yield savings account, a brokerage account, the ability to trade crypto, savings vaults, and autopilot. And with this, I set up vaults. I set up one vault per monthly creditor, and then had some triggers that were based upon direct deposits. Anytime I received a direct deposit, I transferred half of each monthly bill to its vault every 2 weeks. Then I set up automated transfers from the vault back to the checking account 2 days prior to auto draft. Did not spend out of this checking account. I didn't use the debit card. I only used the debit card for ATM withdrawals for monthly payments, which required to be paid in cash. Money that was spent went on a credit card, which had a predetermined biweekly amount to spend and had a vault set up. By automating this process of moving cash to and from savings vaults, it allowed me to capture some interest that I wouldn't normally capture if I had kept the money in my checking account. And of course, monthly I would move that interest earned over to another vault called Free Gold. It was my Free Gold account. Then I also swept my checking account monthly into my savings account and did the same with savings, holding $1,000 in the savings account at all times, but anything over that got swept into my Free Gold account, and any in the checking account left at the end of the month also got swept into my Free Gold account, as well as sweeping all monthly payment vaults. Sometimes those vaults come up or have some pennies left over. Then I established a 10% minimum savings, same as a monthly bill, in fact with even higher priority. I had 5% go to my brokerage account and 5% go to a bullion vault, which I then use to purchase metals every 2 weeks. I have heard that I must be debt-free before investing in metals. Well, maybe. But the only reason I am here is because I found that I love acquiring silver and gold bullion. I don't love saving cash at all. While it might be the best solution, the one that is working for me is to just get control, have the primary focus of getting out of debt. First priority, increase credit score, pay down debt ASAP after obtaining my emergency fund. That's been accomplished. And now that it's been accomplished, let's see what it looks like. Table here, and you can see my first purchase of silver was in July of 2022, where I purchased 12 ounces of silver. And then about $400 every 2 weeks, I bought bullion. Some months I bought more bullion and no stocks, and some stocks and no bullion, vice versa. There's also a caveat here. I had a side gig and rediscovered an inheritance that my sister and I received. It was a bunch of old jewelry that we turned into gold coins. After 2.5 years, I acquired approximately 700 ounces of silver, approximately 10 ounces of gold, and 4 ounces of platinum. That is my emergency fund. Turbo's tips. Find your passion. For me, it was precious metals. Automate your deposits and payments, just like banks and businesses do. And as a bonus, find a good local coin shop owner. You will learn a lot about the business and get more opportunities through that personal connection that any online personality or online dealer guaranteed. The first step to ridding yourself of financial anxiety and dependence is realizing you have control. Stop doing what you're doing and research. Find your passion to save. I found mine. Perhaps yours might be the same. If that sounds interesting to you, I invite you to join me in my silver and gold stacking community and channel, Turbo Stacking, by subscribing today. Give us a shot. What sorcery did you use to build your emergency fund? I'm very interested in this topic. Please respond. Let me know if you have an emergency fund, or if you're working on it, or if you completed it, and any tips you have for us. We're very interested. Anyway, thanks for watching. As you were, Turbo out.